Kaliprasanna Singho's Hutom Pyachar Naksha is mentioned as a reference. Tell us a little bit about the book, why and how you found it useful for Deflected.
Hutom Pyachar Naksha describes Calcutta and its neighborhood during the 19th century remarkably well. Our novel actually deals with Calcutta during the 19th century, so we had to get a feel for what it was like to be in Calcutta at that time.
Give us some examples of what happens in the book.
Well, one of the things that I learned was shongs. So what was a shong? They were like open-air actors. There's actually a funny song, I think, sung by Srikumar Chatterjee, where he's describing that a shong has come out, is a shong for a doctor. He has put a pipe, the water pipe, on his around his neck, and is mimicking a stethoscope. Okay, and he actually is holding some kind of a dagger or whatever in his hand, and that's like the surgeon's knife. And he was singing like, Ami Jele Para Shong. I'm the Shong from Jele Para. So everybody was enjoying around him. So people gathered around him. So Shong would come out. Okay? So people could basically relate to what he was saying. Like,
That's
so
very interesting.
And it was also, it was what we humans are about. We react to what we see around us, right? In one occasion, he is talking about a custom, that's a Bengali custom during that time, which is called folar invitation. So people would invite others into their home to eat folar. Folar was kind of like it's basically, it's a mix of fruits, and you mix yogurt in it, and there's some sort of it's kind of like rice pudding, but it's very indigenous, and I loved folar quite a bit. I think it's probably still in practice. So, but whereas I knew what folar is, I didn't know that people would invite others at their home, to eat folar. I mean, that really, during our time, when I was growing up, it already had fallen out of fashion. But during Kaliprasanna's time, it was a custom. People would invite their friends and many other strangers, for folar, for eating folar, really. So Kaliprasanna seemed to be, he was a very rich man, Kaliprasanna Singho, right? The way he shows, a childlike enthusiasm because, he has received a folar invitation, tells something about the man, he's just, his innocence and the way he was excited, he's looking forward to, eating folar in such a party. And he's joking that, it was, the invitation was, he got the invitation during a rainy season. So, the outside was, it is raining. So, the dusty roads became muddy. And he said that, well, there's another folar out there, like the mud, but it doesn't matter, we can take care of this outside folar, to enjoy the party. I mean, Kaliprasanna Singho's humor, I mean, whatever he has said in that book, he has mixed humor in it. I mean, in every paragraph, there is humor. And the humor is it's not insulting, it's not abrasive, it's really funny at places, it's hilarious, and it's kind of unbelievable. And, it's so modern in that sense. I mean, it's at places. Hutom Pyachar Naksha sounds like, you're watching a stand-up comedian, telling you, this, making a social commentary, about everyday things. I mean, it's very modern in that sense. If I were to criticize the book, I would say it's what happens is that I wish there was a little bit more structure to it, because it's a bit free-flowing. It's so kind of you sort of after a while you kind of wonder, it's all very exciting and cool, but where is it going with all this?
It's an old book. That did not pose any challenge?
No, on the contrary, the language was what increased the appeal of the book, because he wrote it in colloquial Bengali, in very modern, in the Bengali language, which is very close to modern Bengali.
That's peculiar, because if you think of Rabindranath and Bankim Chandra's sounds a little bit.
Yes, I tend to think so, particularly because you brought up Bankim. I think his contrast with Bankim is kind of mind-blowing, because in Bankim's language is like is regal, right? I mean, it's like you have this big Sanskrit leaning words, Kundo Nintito Dantoraji, or Shafari Shadrisha Okhijugal, right? I mean, all these words, Bonkim used, but Kaliprasanna was just took the opposite route. Okay, I mean he used short words. They're spoken Bengali, and the other thing is Kaliprasanna used English just the way in modern Bengali sometimes you use English words. Kaliprasanna was using English, written in Bengali script. He was saying something like educated lokera bole, and he was saying he was writing it as educated, not educated. I mean, I think Kaliprasanna Singho was an extraordinary man. It is extremely talented individual from the past era. If I wanted to meet one person, it would have been definitely Kaliprasanna Singho, because I mean, I think that man was immensely interesting. He had a complete, just grip, of the society around him, like nobody else did, it seems to me.
Interesting. So that one person would not be Radhanath, it would be Kaliprasanna.
I see it this way, there's nothing like Bankim Chandra, Kaliprasanna, Radhanath, Rabindranath. They're not separate in my mind. I see them as sentient Bengali minds, reacting to, the changing world around them. I had the exposure of both the cultures. Okay, I was born into the Indian culture, and then as I came abroad, I was understanding, I was learning about things which were very different from what I saw in my own culture, and so I had to make sense of both the things, and it struck me that this experiment happened about 200 years ago.